Thank you for joining us at the second grade patriotic performance. Please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. Gracias por acompañarnos hoy en la presentación de segundo grado. Por favor, levántese para el juramento de lealtad.
Have you ever heard a national anthem?
Yes, I have heard it sung at professional football games and their sporting events too.
Correct. The national anthem is also sung at high school sports and represents the gold medalists in the Olympics.
Where did it come from?
It was written after a big battle on September 1814 in Baltimore, Maryland. At Fort McHenry, a giant flag was posted exiting from far away.
As a British ship approached, seeing the flag, they fired. There were booms back and forth. The battle lasted all night long. On an American ship, there was a man named Francis Scott Key who was inspired to write a poem. You see, when the sun began to rise through the foggy air from all the fighting, he saw that the American flag was still there. Seeing the flag, he knew immediately that the foot was not captured and America was still in control. The poem he wrote was the Star-Spangled Banner. When we heard it play, it's almost extended. Your tallest point, remove your hat and place your right hand on your heart. Remember to give attention to the American flag. This honors all military, including those in sacrifice to our country. In 1916, President Woodrow Wilson signed an executive order that made it our official national anthem. In 1931, President Herbert Hoover signed a public law that officially made it our national anthem. Listen to the story poetically being told of a triumphant moment in our history. Everyone, please stand and rise at your tallest for national anthem. The Star-Spangled Banner.
Todos levántense y párense lo más alto posible para el himno nacional, the Star-Spangled Banner. Escuchen la historia que se cuenta poéticamente del momento triunfal de su historia.
At the twilight Good morning, second grade families. We are so pleased to have so many faces here this morning sharing in this lovely day with us. We have been working so hard at preparing this show for you. As part of our social studies curriculum, second graders have learned a little bit about the founding and history of our country and what it means to be an American citizen. And they are here today to share with you some of the amazing things that they've learned about our beautiful country. So we hope that today puts a smile on your face. We hope that we bring a little sunshine to you on this lovely Friday. And we thank you all so much for being here on behalf of all of the second grade teachers as well as our fabulous students. We thank you so, so much, and we really hope you enjoy the rest of the show.
Long, long ago, our country was founded on July 4th, 1776. That is when the colonies declared their independence from England and the United States was born.
Now we will celebrate our country's birthday every year on July 4th with fireworks, parades, and fireworks.
You may not have realized that we were once part of the country England. That means the colonies and people who lived there were ruled by the King and Queen of England.
The colonies did not have a president like we do now. The people did not have a say in the rules and laws.
Once we became the United States of America, that all changed. Our country is a democracy. That means we vote for the men and women that we want to lead our country.
Our country's most important elected official is the President of the United States. He is the leader of our country.
The president is responsible for many important jobs. Some of those jobs include Chief of the Executive Branch, Head of Foreign Policy, and Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces.
When elected, the president is in office for 4 years. A president cannot serve more than 2 terms or 8 years total.
The Vice President of the United States also has an important role. The Vice President would step in for the President if he or she were unable to do their job. The Vice President also works closely with the members of the Senate. There are many symbols that represent our country. Bald eagle, Statue of Liberty, and one of the most important, the American flag. The first American flag was created in June of 1777. The design has changed over the years. Today, our flag is red, white, and blue. The colors have a special meaning. Red symbolizes bravery, white symbolizes peace, and the blue stands for freedom.
The top corner of the flag has a blue background with 50 white stoles. Each stole represents one of the 50 states.
The rest of the flag is covered in red and white stripes, 13 to be exact. Each stripe represents one of the 13 colonies. Since the American flag is such an important symbol of America, it is treated with respect. There are many rules that tell us how to treat the flag.
A few of these rules include the flag should never touch the ground or anything underneath it. The flag is always displayed from sunrise to sunset, and the flag should never be carried flat or horizontally.
The home of the free and the
In Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, you can visit the Liberty Bell, an American symbol for freedom. The words of the bell declare that all people are free.
The Liberty Bell was made in 1752, and they ring for special events. The bell is made out of bronze and weighs 2,080 pounds.
The bell is a crack, so it does not ring anymore. No one knows why it cracked. About 2 million people visit the Liberty Bell each year to see the symbol that's inspired so many people to fight for their freedom.
The Statue of Liberty is in New York Harbor and welcomes people to the United States. It sits on an island called Liberty Island. The statue was a gift from France in 1885 and came to the United States by boat in pieces. Nazi people working to put the statue back together. They completed in 1886.
The statue is 305 feet tall and is made of copper. Lady Liberty is the height of 22-story buildings and wears a crown with 7 points. The 7 points stand for the 7 seas and 7 continents. The Statue of Liberty stands for freedom and democracy, and people from all over the world come to see her.
Located in our country's capital, Washington, D.C., the White House is one of the world's most famous buildings, a symbol of the U.S. government. The White House is more than 200 years old.
The President of the United States lives in the White House and works in the Oval Office. He or she gives speeches in the Rosa Garden outside the White House.
Since the year 1800, the White House where many important decisions have been made. The President makes the world leaders in the White House. This is where they sign treaties. The White House is a great place to visit and tourists to learn more about our building's interesting past.
In South Dakota, Black Hills is Mount Rushmore, a sculpture of 4 U.S. presidents carved into a mountain. Each president represents an important time in U.S. history.
George Washington represents the country's start, Thomas Jefferson represents the country's growth, Abraham Lincoln represents the country staying together, and Theodore Roosevelt is a symbol of the country getting better.
The carving of Mount Rushmore began in 1927 and was finished in 1941. Most of the workers did the carving with dynamite. Nearly 3 million people visit Mount Rushmore each year to see this amazing memorial.
United States has the military to protect us and our land. Our president is the commander-in-chief over the entire U.S. military.
There are 5 main branches of the military. These include the Army, the Air Force, the Marine Corps, and the Coast Guard.
The Army is the main ground force and largest branch of the military.
The Air Force is part of the military that uses aircraft.
The Air Force is also responsible for military satellites in space.
The Navy works in the ocean and the seas throughout the world. The Navy uses all sorts of ships, including aircraft carriers and submarines. The Marines play a major role in being places first when needed.
They are stationed all around the world and work closely with the Army, Navy, and Air Force.
The Coast Guard is the smallest of the military branches. The Coast Guard monitors the U.S. coastline and protects our borders as well as helps with ocean rescues.
Please stand if you are serving in the military or are a veteran.
joining us to celebrate our beautiful country. We hope you enjoy the show. God bless America.
Gracias por
acompañarnos hoy para celebrar nuestro hermoso país. Esperemos que hayan disfrutado el escudo. Dios bendiga América.